Hello, everybody. How are you doing this evening? So, if you're joining us, thank you so much. Always, always, all the gratitude in the world. I know it's probably been weird. I haven't been here for the last 2 days, and you're probably seeing a new guy. So, um, for those who are used to seeing the other dude, he's taking a hiatus for a while. So, I think I'm gonna let this guy stick around for a while. Kind of enjoying it. So, let's get this show rolling, guys. Let me go ahead and start by bringing in my two co-hosts for the evening. Let's start out here with the Zen Master, Mr. Michael Padurano. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. I don't know about Zen Master.
Well, I see you sitting here and you have this calm.
Stubborn as a rock, maybe. Zen Master is a little bit overqualified.
All right, and we're going to introduce, of course, our other host, Leib. Everybody, the host.
I don't get the Zen Master. I don't get the Zen Master title. Why not?
Well, you're a little excitable.
Yeah, exactly. You're like you're on the other end of the spectrum where they go. It's like,
listen, it's called Firecracker. There's Zen Master and there's Firecracker, and I'm all the way at Firecracker, right?
Yes. So you're on the other end. So you're the explosion.
Where's Gabe?
Excuse me.
Where's Gabriel?
He's here.
No. This is his way younger brother. This is not Gabriel. This is his younger brother. I don't know if Gabriel is the guy with like the beard.
Yeah. Again, that guy is on hiatus for a while, so he literally had to take a little bit of vacation. Pretty sure he might come back. I don't know. It just depends.
You do have a baby face. My God. I mean, you really do.
It's so weird to go back and look at my pictures and go, that was one of the things, because I've been sending out a few pictures to people because I'm going to be on other people's shows. So they've been asking for, hey, do you have a headshot or something you can send me? And I said, you know what? I wouldn't have hesitated a couple days ago, but now I'm like, you know what?
This is the new me.
Let me just wait a little bit. I said, can you wait a week and I'll get you a better headshot because I got my camera out now. And
are you going to get shots taken? Or are you going to?
No. I got my own. I actually have my own Canon T6i Rebel Canon camera that I use for photography.
Nice.
I just never use it because what I essentially bought it for was go out to record short films. Me and my brothers, but of course COVID came and
that went to shit.
It's just here, so now it's just sitting on my shelf, and I have everything that goes along with it. So I said, you know what? Why don't I just break it out and start taking photographs? I mean, why not?
Of myself.
Yeah.
I love that. Listen, selfie queen over here. I got it.
You know, who was I talking to? I was watching somebody's YouTube live stream. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because you have your glasses on this evening. And one of the things that I was talking about is, you know what? Why hasn't somebody been able to invent a set of glasses that doesn't have that glare? Because every live streamer that I see that goes live and wears glasses.
And you know why I don't care? Because they're protecting my eyes. It's not even to see their blue light. So what you're seeing is the blue light reflecting off.
Oh, okay. Well,
they're protecting my baby blues that get sore from being on the screen all day. so that's why I go like that, because then you can actually see me. But when I have it down, it's because my eyes are sore from the screen like all day long. But
I understand. Okay. Awesome. Makes sense. All right. So let's get this show going, guys. And one of the reasons that we were going to talk about was, of course, the subject of living in the new normal. And, you know, the whole subject that we kind of broached was on one of our Sunday meetings. We just started talking about how life has changed for each one of us, living in this new, in this ever-changing, seems like month-to-month world that we live in. You know, it's been crazy because each of us has a different experience. Because your situation is you're a single mother, 2 kids. Mike is a single father, 3 kids. And of course, I have a different dynamic as well. I have 4 and my wife, so it's a little bit of a different story for each one of us.
Mm-hmm.
So each one of us has a little bit different experiences. So, if you want to start off telling us a little bit about what some of the things that you have had to deal with as a single parent.
So I'll start. So, I mean, everybody that watches us knows Mike's story because everybody knows the kids. But mine are a little bit older, and I think Sid is probably, since she's the youngest, she's the biggest up here on our show. Yeah. But I think what's interesting is the dynamic of my home has gone from very uptight and be quiet and go up to your room and, while I work and I'm on Zooms and the dynamic as COVID has progressed, we've all gone to this new normal and it's become much less formal. All of my Zooms, I mean, even with very high level executives, there's a sense of casualness to it that has never been before. And if a kid walks in, I would say 8 times out of 10, not just at my house, but at someone else's house, it's just sort of like, okay, hi, how are you? And then they can go on their way. And there's interruptions. I mean, I was on the phone with a senior VP of strategy the other day of a huge company. And she's like, hold on one sec. So you're going to take the car? Yeah. Okay, go ahead. And she's like having a whole conversation during like an important meeting that we were having. And it was fine with me because I completely understand. Where'd he go? For a second, I couldn't see you.
Oh.
You disappeared for a second. And so I think that the dynamic has completely changed. And like before I would get all uptight, my kids are going to jump in the screen and say something, or it would be inappropriate and somebody would get angry and I would be like this. And now I'm much more relaxed. And what that brings in my house is a much more relaxed feeling with them. At least that's my experience over time, gradually.
Yeah. And, that's one of the things that you're, and just to pull back a curtain a little bit, we've known each other for a while. It was a little bit difficult towards the beginning because, again, doing the schooling as well. You were doing homeschooling with the kiddos, right?
Yeah, that was really unfun, like really not fun. Like that was by far the worst. We talked about that too, live. That was by far, like, it was so nerve-wracking to have this pressure of being a teacher all of a sudden and and like my little one gets upset and she wants help and wants me to sit with her. I mean, it's like permanent, even just like Velcro anyway, but like she wants me to sit, and like we had the babysitter here. And so I'm trying to get the babysitter to do the work and I'm doing work at the table, and I'm like, can you go upstairs? And then I'm upstairs and then I'm at my different, and it's just, and then I'm worried about lesson planning. Like I'm actually a teacher. Like I'm planning the lessons for the next day and trying to make sure that they're eating at the right time and it's another job that I never had. I mean, of course I'm a mom, but like, that's like after school and at dinner and at night. And it's like on the weekends, right? But like during the day, like, and I never took it for granted because I totally appreciate teachers, but like, it's a time when you work, when you do things for you and when you do adult things and you're not worried about, this verb conjugation that, and now PS, they do everything differently, right? Like they don't divide like we did. They don't do any of that. So like my kids like think, I mean, I can barely do 4th grade math and I just got my MBA. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, I'm like, what do you mean? You just divided and then you carry the one. And he's like, my son's like, no, Mom. And they're doing these crisscross. I don't know if you've seen this. It's
yes.
There's like 16 ways to do it. And there's pictures they're drawing and there's crisscross and it's all, and I'm like, just carry the one. This is how we do it. Exactly. So, it was really overwhelming and just adjusting to that. And then on top of that, the unknowns of COVID, especially in the beginning, now it's become a little bit more like, it's horrible, but it's a little more accepted where, before we're like, people are dropping like flies. There's dead bodies in New York City and our kids are home and we don't know how long. And, the teachers are freaking out and we're freaking out and all that stuff. So it's gradually gotten, I think my main like thread of like what I'm trying to say is we've reached some sort of point of acceptance, all of us, that this is part of the new normal.
Yeah. So, and that's going to be the next hurdle we face, right? Is because that's just back around the corner again here in about a month or two. Well, not even I'll say in a month, we're looking back at the barrel of school starting again. So how are you going to feel, both of you? Because now, Mike, you have the dynamic as well, right? Correct? You're going to have the dynamic of having 3 kiddos or 2. You'll have to at least homeschool.
Yeah. Yeah, they start the 24th. So they got registered today. Not that it's last minute, but definitely today. It's and they're
are they going in person?
no. My daughter has an autoimmune. I have 2. There's no way that she's going in person. At the end of the day, I mean, it's all virtual. We're supposed to get more information next week on how it's going to work. Like they don't know yet. No, nobody knows. It's my sister in Florida has no idea yet, and they go back to school the 17th. Like, yeah. I mean, they just don't know.
We had an announcement today, actually, that said virtual until October 5th. Like, as if all of a sudden on October 6th, everything is going to be better and different. You know, like it's like, oh, October 6th, COVID's gone. So great. You know, it's like,
awesome.
I'm not sending my kids to school. There's no way. My ex-husband and I want them to be virtual. Like, there's just, in my opinion, and everyone has their opinion, they should be virtual right now. There's too many unknowns. There's too much sickness.
It is.
What do you feel about that, Gabe?
Well, you know, that's the whole thing. We've had this discussion, the wifey and me as well, and we're taking the same approach. My whole thing is, you know, if they cannot control a quote unquote flu outbreak at a school, where they send notes home saying, "Hey, if your kid's sick, keep them at home." How are they going to control something on this magnitude? Where, I mean, even when you're talking about head lice.
Oh God, I know. Oh God.
So when you're talking about head lice, right? I got 3 daughters, so that's a big concern in my household. But when you're talking about head lice, and they go, it's so hard to control, and all of a sudden, hey, they send notes with kids and stuff. How are they gonna sit there and go, we're gonna control, we're gonna control on the dynamic of such a big.
Totally that. And how about the plan? I mean, God. You know, I don't mean to say anything is wrong with the administration. I don't even want to comment on like what I think about the teachers or administration. I think they're doing I think everybody's doing their best right now. But what I will say is like going to school Mondays and Tuesdays, cleaning on Wednesdays, and then the next set of kids going to school on Thursday and Friday. It's so insane. I can't remember my schedule anyway. Like, what are they even talking about? I don't know how that's going to work, how they're going to get them clean the kids, as if like a 7-year-old's going to keep a mask on all day. Like, and they're going to have mask breaks. Like, what are you even saying? So I don't know. It just, none of it makes any sense to me, and I just want them home. But I don't want them home because I want to work and I want to live my life. So it's like so hard. I mean, at least I get a break. I have an ex-husband, you know, that has a babysitter there, and that like Mike doesn't have anybody. I mean, he's got to do this all on his own.
I know, so that's going to be a whole nother dynamic for him as well, and you know, I think that's something that's going to be a learning curve for everybody still. I mean, even now. Oh no!
Yeah, that sounded like a spill. Why doesn't Mike mute, and we'll get back to him? So
this is life with COVID.
This is the new normal, folks. So
no, that's life with a 3-year-old, Mike.
That's true also.
This is life in the normal for a lot of people. So yes, we are on a live stream. Yes. Yeah.
I heard a crash. I saw Mike's face, and I don't know what my face looked like, but I was like,
oh shit.
She just rolled off the ottoman and went backwards. She's fine. So for child services out there, right? Here's the disclaimer.
Totally fine.
She is perfectly fine.
Right.
Her hair is nice and thick, so it's like a helmet.
Yeah. So everything's good, folks.
We're all sympathetic here.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So we know. You know what? I feel like I don't know. Let me try this out. I want to do something. You do that. I want to see what I would look like with mine and like a nerd.
What are yours? Are they like for seeing close, or what are they for?
They're actually just readers because I have a hard time.
You're old and you need readers. I don't need those yet. Mike doesn't need those yet either.
No, not at all.
Not at all, huh?
All right, Gabe, I'll tell you a secret. At 41, I'm going to say this publicly. All right, this is a big at 41 and 3/4, I just started to like see a tiny bit of like a tiny bit of a blur when I'm reading. For a second, and then it goes away. But I'm like, like it's like real tiny. I'm like, was that just no?
What was that? Right? I'm gonna tell you what. Those become more apparent after a while. You go. First, it shows up as just a blip.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a blip.
Then it becomes a regular visitor, where you go. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not, and then it comes to a point where you're just going, "Fuck, I can't see."
Yeah, can't see shit. Now, do you have good vision?
I used to.
General.
Yes, in general, yes. So from here, I can actually see everything normal. I can see. I got a thing that sits in front of my thing that was from my grandma's funeral. I can read all the words very clear. I can see that very well.
Must be nice.
Yes, but what I can't see is whenever the quote unquote the fine print. Oh my gosh! Or on the computer screen sometimes when they have fonts that are just really small.
At a restaurant, do you like take your phone and go like? Do you on the menu like you shine your phone? You do that? Oh God, that's a rough one. That's a rough one, man. That's like an old person thing to do.
Yeah, so that's why I go like this. Sometimes now I go. So fuck it. I just say now that I go in there, I take my glasses so I can read and see what the fuck I'm ordering, and then I go back and I put it down, and then I'll put it away.
All of this, you point to it.
Exactly, because I can't. Literally, my wife asked me the other day. I'm sitting in the living room looking at my phone, and I'm holding it, just in this example so everybody can see. I'm holding it away like this, so I've got it at a far angle, reading. She goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm trying to fucking read. I'm trying to read the words. I can't read it." I said, "And I don't know where the hell my glasses are. I can't read it." So, that's just part. It's just part of. I wrote a blog about this one time. Whenever when I first started having to realize that I had to wear readers, because I was like, that's like one of the indicators, right? That you're like, it's Father Time is showing up at your doorstep.
Annie just disappeared, right? That's not just me.
No.
Okay. I'm like, I didn't know if it was just like, I'm just like a stone here, so I wasn't sure if, I'm like a pillow away from a nap right this second.
You had a look on your face. You should have seen it. When you dropped. He had this look on his face. He's like, and then he asked me, "That's not me, is it?" I was like, "No, it's not you." She disappeared from the screen. So,
I'm sorry. I just got kicked off for some reason. All of a sudden, I was in my email.
Oh.
I don't know how that happened.
So,
hi, Kenyatta.
Russ is here
What's
too.
happening, everyone? Oh, hi, Russ. Hashtag Russ.
And there's Mr. Dunner, of course. KDJ, awesome.
Kenny, what the hell did you do to your handsome face?
I'm talking to Kenny tomorrow.
Kenny. Awesome. Tell me how that goes. He's an awesome dude, man. I love Kenneth Dunner.
Gabe, does your wife want to jump off a cliff because she's got 4 now that have to be home virtually?
Yes and no. Yes, because she knows that. One of the things is it's pretty cool that one of the teachers has actually created a virtual classroom. They did a whole story here on her on the local news. So she's actually created a whole virtual classroom with Bitmojis and everything, so that she can teach on trying to teach at their level to understand how to connect with connect with her students virtually. So she really went all out this time, um, which is really great. But what like my wife worries about is the fact that um, the kids, my youngest daughter, she will actually be in kindergarten, so it's going to be hard, for not to be able to interact with
Peers.
friends, yeah, with peers, and then going through the whole process of learning to get really acclimated in school.
And that's such a monumental time.
Right?
Kindergarten is so important. It's just like, all of it. I mean, all of it. People's senior years and it's just really a sad.
It's just like it's everything for everybody. I mean, even us as adults going through the workplace. I mean, even if you were to quote unquote change careers, get a new job, whatever it is. I mean,
everything has to be virtual.
Everything has to be virtual. You're not meeting. You're not walking into an office. You're not going into coworker. You're not doing commutes. You're not doing all of these things. So the dynamic has literally changed on so many different levels.
So I read an article today about that, actually, about kids being behind.
Oh, tell me.
What I found so interesting was it was a very living with Annie-tude type article. And it was actually maybe we're ahead. And I have it quoted. I can pull it up, but it was talking about the amount of the type of connection that we're having with our family at this point and our loved ones and who we're basically stuck with, and how all of that has been amplified, and all the things we're playing games and we're doing puzzles and we're having dinner together. And hi, Andrea Sanchez. Yeah. And it was explaining how we can look at it the way we were just talking about it, or we can take the perspective of, we're together in this and we're going to survive and we're warriors together and we're going to grow our connection as a family. I mean, there are things that I'm doing as a mom with my kids that I haven't done before, where it's, more togetherness. There's also a lot more video game playing, but there's more focused togetherness than there was before with the running and the going and the Girl Scouts and the baseball and and now it's like, okay, we have more of a tight knit connection than we did before. So maybe we're not that much behind.
Right. I mean, isn't that strange that it took something like this for actually us to realize that that's something so important? Because usually we see it as, we have to go the extra mile. We do have to go put the kids in baseball. We have to go put them in Girl Scouts. We have to go do all these things, right?
Yeah.
And then when you realize how much it's not so necessary to have it, and you get to see a lot of the things that you do miss about seeing your kids grow up, it's because again, it puts stress on you as a parent, because again, who's got to take them to go Girl Scout meeting? Who has to take them to go baseball?
Totally. And you have to do it right. You have to be in the right group, in the right school, in the right, and it does relieve that pressure. And then there's other pressures that it brings, so it's kind of both. Again, it's, I think, perspective.
It is.
There's so much with perspective, and just, I sort of have reached this place with COVID of just acceptance. And I'm just, this is our new, it's not normal. It's never going to be normal, but this is our new normal right now. And what that means to me is I have to be adaptable and flexible, because if I'm not, I'm going to go crazy.
Right. I mean, so Mike's actually had to be adaptable longer than all of us. So.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, okay, so let's take a step back, right? Let's take a drive down memory lane real quick. So when my daughter was an infant, I was working from home, because I've been working from home for almost 12, 13 years now. 90% of the time has been working from home. I used to do calls with the UN, with UNDP, with government officials, and I used to do them on Skype with my daughter on my lap, because I would be doing them at all hours of the night, and anytime I was awake, she would find me. So, I mean, I've been living this life forever. right? It's a matter of, it just is what it is. This is my life. It's always been this way. So the rest of the world finally caught up to me and just accepted my life. My life was in chaos before this started, and now it's just a little bit more chaos. It's as far as homeschooling or schooling at home, I mean, I'm really innovative. So I taught my kids the magic words, "Hey Google," and they use their digital devices to actually find their own answers, right? Now, granted, they'll watch lots of stuff that's not educational, but I'm teaching them to be innovative thinkers, to think on their own, to find their own answers, to look for their own answers, stuff that the school system doesn't teach them. Anybody can learn how to add, subtract, do math. You can learn it. There's a million different ways to learn it. I'm not going to sit here and argue over Common Core, boxes and circles, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm not going to go through that. I'm not going to talk about the different styles, because at the end of the day, if you get the answer right, then you know what you're doing. The reality is, who's teaching them for critical thinking when they're not learning it in school? One of the reasons that being home is better for children is because not only is it a family environment, but it's actually engaging their parents and asking them questions that a teacher normally wouldn't answer, right? We can't say, go ask your teacher, and a teacher won't answer because the teacher doesn't have time. Not that they don't want to, they just don't have time. We don't have a choice because we can't send them to ask anyone. I mean, they're coming right back to us. Go ask your mom, come right back. Go ask your teacher, they'll come right back. You can't win, right? Like, it just doesn't work that way. So, I mean, we're in a position that, we're forced to engage with them at a more interactive level. They're forced to engage with us at a different interactive level. And it's elevating the relationship to new levels. It's leveling up our game as a family dynamic in this country. And it's just one of those things where, as much as this is a curse, sorry, I don't know what she's saying or what she's doing. I put the noise canceling on so that I just don't hear it anymore. She's driving me nuts. She's throwing stuff at me. Anyway, this is my life. But there's a reason that we do shows later. It's at the end of the day, this is a blessing too. It's not just a curse, right? This is a horrendous time. It's absolute pandemic chaos, but we've done this before. We just have social media and media pushing it harder now, right? The last pandemic was 1918. It's not like they could really go push it on social media. Social media was the newspaper you got once a day. There wasn't the ticker tape at the bottom saying there wasn't the ticker tape at the bottom saying, this is our minute by minute update from the hospitals, right? Like, I mean, this it's now real time in our face, and it's consuming us.
I agree, but I also don't think that it's like our generation hasn't really faced this before. And yes, it's much more because it's in our face, but that doesn't make it easier. It's really hard. Really hard. There is a black.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm with you. I'm just saying you're right. That is a blessing as far as the way we're changing.
But there's been flus worse. There's been flus that percentage-wise kill more people that get infected. There's, we can argue about these things.
It's a silly argument because you're never going to have it doesn't mean you're wrong. You're not going to have the public agree with you. The point of the matter is we are where we are, and we do have the social media that we have. We have our kids home from school. We're all still working, trying to make ends meet to pay bills, and we have to figure out a way to do it. There is no unless you're made of money and you have people coming into your house and teaching your kids, it's like, I don't know what else to do except for just make this the way it is. And
because again, here's a different dynamic because, and not that this is everybody's situation, but a lot of people depended on that time for their kids to be in school because again, they were two working parents in a household and who weren't educated but had to work, regular jobs, and it depended on them having the opportunity to say, I can't leave my kids at home, so while they're at school, I can work. And that dynamic has changed for a lot of folks because, again, just talking from a few of my neighbors around here, it's not that it's saying that a lot of them don't have education. They never went on to Some of them didn't graduate high school. Some of them don't have degrees, whatever. So they really depended, they work, again, backbreaking jobs. They're in warehouse work, construction, or all these other blue collar jobs and stuff. And they needed that, they would depend on, hey, dropping my kids off at school. So while they're at work, I literally might have to find somebody to babysit my kid for a couple hours till I get off of work and come home.
And I worry about that right now too, with people like freaking out about childcare, because they just, in our school district, I had said this already, but they just announced like all virtual until the 5th of October. Right. And now people are scrambling because they don't know what to do. And it's like just this mass constant chaos of what do we do? And then you either reach a point of F it, I just got to go with it. Or you make other plans where I think everybody's laughing at you because you're making plans and you have no idea if this is going to spike again or what's going to happen. So it's a definite, like, we have to come to terms with this, like, unknown, a lot of unknowns, and that lack of control is making a lot of people uneasy.
Yes, it's making. I know a lot of people who are just they're literally tired of it. I mean, and
we're all learning patience, right? We don't have a choice anymore.
All we can do
we're learning to get rid of instant gratification, patience, waiting for things that are worth it to us. There's just things that we don't have a choice anymore, right? Like, even if I wanted to go somewhere, I can't go anywhere. So it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, where am I going to go with 3 kids? Even if I could, like, there's nowhere to go. Well, maybe I'm just in a special circumstance, but that's besides the point. Like, I can go say hi to the next.
Not a lot of people want to go places with kids that age, 3 of them. Not a lot of people do. Gabe, do you go out a lot? I mean, hell no. Where are you going to go?
Even in
he hides in the shed. He hides in the shed.
I'm going to tell you what. Even in normal times.
That's what we're saying. Like, where are you going to go anyway? Like, I mean,
and here's the hard thing about for some of these people, because again, it is tough living in environments, because some of these people's like this, again, depending on that work, they were depending check to check. They were living, they weren't living out the most well-planned lives. So to be living in something like this now, it's really frightening. I've had conversations with people who are neighbors and stuff. Of course, we're talking across the street from each other, but they see me running out in the morning sometimes, and they'll on Saturday, and they'll just hey, how are you? Because again, they don't get conversation. That's another thing. They don't have these really long conversations with people because a lot of them don't get out of their house.
Yeah.
So if they see a stranger or neighbor running down the street and they're like, hey,
Is anyone doing anything? Are you guys doing anything? Like I did, I volunteered a couple times so far during COVID to deliver food. Like, does anybody know of anything that we can pass on to people or listeners or watchers about, like, maybe helping others that are housebound and can't?
Well, yeah, there was a program. There's a program.
I don't think I'm in a position to help anyone else at this current moment.
I'm not talking about you.
We're talking about the crowd out there who might.
Where can I sign up for that help? Maybe that's what I need to look for, right?
You know what I'm saying? Though we sound a little bit like, oh well, what was us? And it's like there's people that are actually housebound that can't get out to get food, and there's people that.
Well, there's a neighbor that actually she volunteers for Meals on Wheels, so they still do this. So they still go out there to a lot of elderly households. It's just a lot tougher now, because for a lot of them, they don't they're out of contact.
It's really sad and scary. And think about the people that are alone that really, like, we can go out. We joke about it. We don't want to go out, but we can. Like, there's people that can. It's really sad.
Yeah, my neighbor does it with their church group. They go out and they build donation boxes.
Yeah,
and they go out and they go out to other church members who haven't been to the church in a while because they're a lot older.
Yeah.
They don't have the opportunity to go in the church, and there's only a limited amount of people who can go.
Yes.
So they go take out for their fellowship, and they build these donation boxes, and they've come and asked me for donations, and of course, hey, here's a few things, items, food, whatever we can offer, because it's tough right now. Everybody's like, it's a whole different.
I just want to recognize that. Like, I want to recognize the people that, like, we complain, but we all the three, we still have it pretty good.
It's really not that bad, right? Like, I mean, it's a blessing. It really is. In a lot of ways it is. I mean, there's, we could look at this as negativity. We could look at it as a downer. I mean, we're also just sharing our stories, right? Like, we're sharing what we go through. Okay, you're getting some free press here. Yeah.
Yes.
I think you have to put the ticker on, because I think it's like, does anyone know what the baby's saying right now? She's saying high attitude. That's
she is. Yes.
So she's saying go there, and then she's saying check this out. Oasis. Check it out.
Yeah. Seriously.
So you can go click the link.
I'm feeling like I have celebrity status right now. I really do.
You do in this house. In this house, you definitely do.
Like I have celeb status.
So
you do.
So actually, it's kind of cross promote tomorrow night. You guys have a conversation as well, correct?
Yeah.
So
we have two conversations with Mike.
So if you click that link there, guys, and go subscribe to her YouTube channel, which you have, I believe, 19 subscribers already.
That's my lucky number.
So I saw that. I go 19. Let's see if I can get that up.
Did you guys ever, really quick, can I just say one thing? Did you ever see the Grover near and far from Sesame Street? This is what it sounds like he's doing. So he goes,
oh, yes. Yeah. Yes. And he runs all the way to the back, and then he comes over here. So just so you guys know, you don't get these conversations on anywhere else. So
this is deep shit.
This is what you get here, guys. And I've always said this is part of the whole fun of doing a live stream. It's you never know what you're gonna get, and it's the best part. Hey, sweetheart, we can hear you. Yeah, here. You need to have her to start saying that, Mike. I can get you sponsorship. We can get sponsorship from
Sesame Street.
They don't have any money.
WHY
they don't have any money. They would like send me the old costumes. They want me to dress up as Snuffleupagus.
Yes, they're like, man.
Well, no, what she's doing is she's running to the back room and watching it on TV to see if she hears herself.
Oh,
because they have it live right now on YouTube in the back.
Okay.
So she's trying to catch herself because there's like that. There's a delay.
That's actually called chasing your tail.
Pretty much.
Actually, doing.
Hey man, if you could find a way to bottle up that energy,
I know,
and sell it, you will have a lot of things said.
I have a little of it. I have a
sell
little.
It. Let me have it. Why would I sell it? I want it.
I can't. I'm already tired.
I know. I was tired from doing the Grover skit. The near and far.
She's probably outruns me what I do in the morning. So
I was just going to ask you. Did you run today, Jake?
Yeah. The only time I don't is whenever, like I said, lightning, or like when I had my hamstring because I'm old. Right? Kidding. I know. But really, really true. I had to sit out. I just couldn't do it. I don't want to injure that and not be able to get around and move. So on those days,
you gotta watch those injuries when you're up that age. You gotta just watch those injuries. You gotta stretch. Listen to your body.
Yes.
I've been running today. My body said, "Stop, stop!" Like, just stop. So I tried.
Well, it's again.
I don't know. I think everybody is unsubscribed from us. They must be like, with these people?
It's all Kenny's fault, right? Because Kenny Friday night was asking where the kids were. Well, here's your answer, Kenny. Where is Kenny? Is Kenny commenting? No. Is Kenny commenting? It's all his fault.
He's not
It is all his fault.
Oh my God, I'm trying to hold on, catch my breath because I love that in the background.
Do you feel lighter?
You know what I do?
Honestly,
I do feel lighter.
Well, yeah, he lost all his dark hair.
Of course, yeah. I lost. Yeah,
the only dark hair.
Only dark hair, right?
Yeah.
And,
just for men.
Here, no. Take the hat off. Take the hat off. Come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna show
money now, Mike, on his just for men.
He'll go from 25 to 55.
Listen to this. Right? Listen to this. Okay. You just mentioned that, and I was on my brother's show yesterday, and we were talking about the same fucking thing about. I'm going to show all of everybody. So, America, I will show you.
America.
When it comes back, it is not just for men. It is just the natural beauty that God has granted me.
I don't think so. I think you're really good at keeping up with your, and you're going to save a lot because I'm sure that.
You know.
And you put your hair too, right?
Yeah. So, I got the hair, did it all. Went the whole 9 fucking yards. I was just like, you know what? I mean, it can always grow back, right?
Yeah. It's gonna grow back. It's gonna grow back.
It'll grow back. Well, it'll grow back quicker than I know what
it's
to do.
It's so short. Oh my God, you look like a teenager. It's really funny.
Right? So when I wear it in the front, whatever.
I don't know. I'm not into that hat. All I know is I'm not into that hat. There's way better hats.
I have it. I do have way better hats. I just literally when I went out to, did I leave it? Oh, you know what? Hold on. I think I have it in here. Hold tight. I was looking for it. I didn't see it in my house when I went out of there, and I know why now. Because I left it in my shed for Sunday. Hold on.
No, that's my toothbrush.
Oh, that's amazing.
There you go. How's that?
That's amazing. That is such an attitude tonight.
Hi, Annie.
They are making it back to see it, so that's why they keep doing it.
Oh, so yeah,
they're making it back to hear themselves. Now
I love that. Whoever got you that is legit.
Thank you, Mike. Ah, this is the fun stuff you guys don't always get to see. So this is why, man, she's on it today, bro.
I think she's got to get sleepy at this point.
Yeah, okay. I wish.
He almost choked.
So anyway, this is the new normal. You're looking at it, and
yeah. So this is what
is the new normal with Mike's house.
Yeah, this is what we wanted to have this conversation about because again, so many people on social media. And I've seen, of course, because I see a lot of live streams. People will have these nice backgrounds, the whole setup, the whole 9 yards, right? And then, like even on your show, right? Even on your show, you had on Monday, Courtney's son.
Yeah, he popped on at the end. Yep,
popped on at the end, right? That's awesome.
That was so cute.
Hi, Annie, dude.
Oh craziness.
What are you looking for?
Oh,
your toothbrush? Your toothbrush. Ask Show where it is. Show knows where your toothbrush is.
He's absolutely no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's so true, Kenny. We do. We don't have a choice. This is it. So Mike can either get mad and mute and scream at them, which isn't going to do anything, or he can just adapt and say, "This is it, guys. You're listening to and watching the show." And you know what? I bet there's a parent out there watching that feels better about their life.
Right? They're like, you know what?
Yeah, at least they're smiling.
Oh, look at this. Pollock said they just permanently laid off all cooks, cashiers, and supervisors on my job. Wow.
That sucks. That's bad news. Sorry to hear that.
That is the thing that happens, man. I just again, for me, it's been a different turn of events this year has. So again, I know it's been different for so many people, so many different ways. But for me, I don't. Again, I've said this a few times. I don't want the do-over.
You have said that.
I don't. I've learned so much about what I've done, and just going forward, and again, making my connections with you guys. This doesn't happen if we go back. I don't. The same paths and everything that of how we connect and what we've done. It doesn't happen.
The level of connection too. Like we started to before this all happened. It's not like we weren't in each other's lives, but like where it's gotten to, and what we're doing, I think is completely adjusted based on
circumstances have kind of pushed things into this sort of dynamic that I don't think had everything would have stayed par for the course and everything would have stayed normal. You don't have a lot of these things. I mean, Mike, you again, your situation will probably be different.
If what?
If COVID never happened. So even though you might be there, but a lot of the circumstances surrounding it.
I don't know. I mean, Murphy's Law's got nothing on Mike's Law, so I don't know. I'm sure something else would have happened. Whether it would have been an asteroid would have hit the courthouse, it would have been something, right? Like, I mean, I just would still be here.
That is a bad attitude.
No, but here's the reality. I'm here for a reason, and whatever that reason is, I'm going to figure it out, right?
It is.
So it's not all good. It's not all great. It's not making me very happy about many things. But at the same time, it's a blessing for me to get this time with my kids. It's a blessing for me to help them heal isolated away from everything before they go back to wherever I end up, right? And there's just so many positives to this. It's giving them a chance to heal before they have to go see the rest of their family or go back to public and go back to places and be in different environments, right? I mean, it's my daughter my youngest Sid, when I first got her, she didn't say 2 words. Obviously now she at least has attitude. So she's extremely grown her vocabulary here.
Yes.
Right. I mean, infinite percentage. But at the end of the day, I mean, everything happens for a reason. I know that it sucks, and I know that it's not all great, and I know there's many things I can harp on that make me on the verge of being absolutely miserable over that being stuck has done for me. But at the same time, it's giving me a chance to just be, right? Be with me. And that's not something I've ever stopped to do in my life. It's not something I'm overly happy about doing every moment of my life either. But it's given me a chance to do it, right? It's given me a chance to actually look at myself and say, what do I want? Where do I want to be? How can I change? What do I need to change? What have I been avoiding my whole life? What have I been avoiding my whole life? And, where do I want to go, right? Like, I mean, these are things that you normally don't have time to slow down with in your life. And now we actually have that time to slow down and take a deep look and really evaluate where we're going.
It's hard.
Well, it all is. I mean, everybody's circumstances are difficult, right?
It's hard to take a real deep hard look. It is.
Because again, that's why I said I don't want to do over. I don't have this dynamic with you guys. I lose a lot. Maybe that's just me being selfish, but
I think it is, Gabe.
I think it is, right?
I'm live right now, and you are saying hello to the world.
There you go. Anybody else's kids want to join?
I'm on live right now.
Right.
Where's Poo Poo?
Poo Poo is actually outside. He's actually being quiet.
That's a shock.
Yeah,
Poo Poo.
Wow, I thought that was just a nickname. I didn't realize.
No, I was asking Gabe if he was just playing with his poop under the desk.
No, I thought.
Okay.
Say Poo Poo before that was like the nickname of the dog. I didn't realize
it is his nickname. It's
real name.
Essentially that's his name. They don't call him. Nobody calls him Pudding. Pudding. Yeah. Wow,
that's cool because that's embarrassing. So because we don't want to be embarrassed, right?
So yeah, exactly, right. So that's the go ahead. That's almost the second time you've choked tonight, Mike.
When Poo Poo, he laughs at me. When Poo Poo is the less embarrassing name, you know that you're doing something. No, I'm teasing.
But again,
Gee, you're a good sport, man. You are.
Well,
You're a
you
good
know,
sport.
I think it's if you can't make fun of yourself. I mean,
You're like,
right?
my dog's name is Pudding.
Right? Hello. I mean, come on. Where do you want? Where do the jokes? Where do they stop? That's my question. Is to keep going. Again, if you can't laugh at life and you can't laugh at certain things, I mean, gosh, it makes everything. To me, it just makes everything harder. So when somebody just gives me a good laugh, to me that's golden, because it just puts me in a whole nother different place. And
yeah, that's a good way to look at things too. Like to sort of laugh at the circumstances, some of it anyway. The parts that we can.
It's because again, it's hard to stay in that constant mind state of over analyzing things. Even when you're looking at getting down these rabbit holes of studying self-discovery and yourself and all the things that you want to learn about yourself, sometimes it's okay to have a laugh.
Yeah, it's important.
So when you find those moments, those are like that little breath of fresh air that you need. You get those few laughs in, you're like, oh, okay, good. It's in there. Life's ready to go. I'm ready to go again.
I laughed tonight, man. Tonight was a good night of laughs. I needed it bad.
You do need these. That's why I said sometimes you need to have that one friend that was just always could make you crack up, that can make you laugh. So whenever you were like in a down spot, if you reached out to that person and it made you laugh and had a good time, everything slipped away for a while. Even if it comes back to reality, at least for that moment, like you said, you capture those moments of happiness. You're like, I was laughing. It was fun. I remember that. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
I needed those. So, I try to collect those as much as I possibly can, because again, it's because if you sit here and just look at life in general and just go,
yeah, it's pretty depressing, especially if you sit and watch the news, and it's just not fun.
Yeah, the news. If you sit there and watch the news, you might as well sit there with the shotgun and
seriously
have the barrel pointing there.
Seriously, it's no fun. I can't even read it's really. So I just try to be grateful, make gratitude lists, listen to my own podcasts. Mike told me I have to listen to my podcast.
Yeah,
I did. I listened to it about resilience, and it actually really helped. And at one point, I was like, "She's really good."
I wish I could meet her. Right?
I am a no, it really made me feel uplifted, and I realized that like I can uplift people. Like I definitely like helped me.
I mean, me and Russ had this conversation, and I was telling him about what your guys are doing out there, and he's like, "How does that make you feel?" I said, "It makes me feel good, because again, that means the domino effect has worked." I said, "You did this for me, Russ. Right? You did this for me. You connected with me. You at least showed me a path how to start doing these things. And then to see other people start doing it as well, that means the domino keeps going. You're gonna go touch somebody else's life somewhere. You're gonna change and impact somebody else's life. And then that person, they're gonna say, you know what? Annie did this for me. I can start doing this for somebody else." So it's the domino, and it should make you feel good and go, I love it. Keep going.
I love it. I do. And you guys both are really good at reminding me that I have to do that with others. It's super important. It lifts you when you're lifting others. So the new normal does have its positives.
It does have Adam Posner always talks about this on his show. He's always talking about the silver lining. Look for the silver lining. What is the silver lining, man? Give me something good. He always asks that question, and I love that. Because again, huh? Yeah.
You mean living with attitude?
Yeah, it's essentially living with attitude in another way. So, of course, David Mumford. See, there's another guy. He's actually started doing another whole podcast, I think. So I think he's going out there and he's expanding. He's going out there as well.
Yeah. He's making this his own, right?
Yeah. So
I saw Coffee and Conversation. It was really interesting. I listened to a little bit of it. I just forget exactly what it was called.
So, that's a whole other thing, is you get that out there and you get those people start talking and they go connect. Again, that web just keeps going and going and going. So sooner or later, somebody's going to connect with your web. Your your community, and they're going to go, okay, cool. Check this woman out. Listen to what she says, and then you're going to start growing more and more. People will start connecting, and then at that point, you're like, cool. This is another way to start building community. I mean, this is the fun part about it. To me, this is the best part about it. So if somebody asked me, do you, Marcello was asking me, do you miss it not being on every night? I said, yes and no. The responsibility about putting everything together, getting to do the whole thing, and then getting on. You know, no, I don't. It's the community. It's the people. It's everybody that's like here tonight. I
know those are people.
Yeah, exactly. So you miss that. But again, they're gonna come regardless. They start getting there. They start knowing who you are. They start familiar. You become a part of everything and what they do. So to me, this is the best part about it. So I like the fact that you guys are doing the same thing. You know, you're
Friday nights.
Say that one more time.
Friday nights, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Living with Anitude, Conversations with Mike.
And what's tomorrow's topic? And who's our guest?
Well, why don't you say it, Mr. Quiet?
Yeah.
I'm bad with names.
Look at the cop out. Come on. Come on.
Andrea Somali, who is an empath, is coming on our show to talk about empathic views of life and why those are important and what that means.
That's gonna be nice. So
I mean, I'm an empath also, so I can obviously have a little bit of depth about
weird vibe, right? You're gonna be all reading off each other, right?
It's true. Being it's true.
It's gonna be the
conversations. The three of us. It's pretty deep. It's pretty deep.
That's like the
our 1 hour conversation.
Yeah.
right, Annie. Our 1 hour conversation. How long was that conversation?
Our 1 hour. How long was it? It was
over 3 hours.
We're like, that's 3 hours. Yeah.
It just flew by though. I mean, it really.
So interesting to hear about different views and aspects of the brain and the mind.
Again, right? That's gonna be like an empath triangle.
Empath party.
Empath party.
Yeah.
You're gonna be. So again, guys, if you don't want to be read or felt, don't watch. They might be able to pick up on certain things about you, because sometimes it is scary to know an empath and then they read you and you go, shut the fuck up, get out of my head. It's crazy.
It depends on the energy you're giving off, right?
Oh, of course, yes, that's part of it. But thank you, David Mumford, putting it straight.
David's mad at me saying we're gonna poo.
Yeah,
it's not even pud, like it's poo poo. Like I don't. This was great. This was fun.
So, and again, it happens so fast.
Mike had a blast.
Again, you can see it on his face. It's so he's an empath. Read it, folks. Read the joy.
Right now. We let him off easy tonight. He gets a molly.
Yeah, I have 3 kids running around in circles. Literally, well, 2. One's hiding in a room on a tablet.
That's okay. That's another thing we need to touch on. We could sit on that. That'll be a whole other conversation. Is having kids and then having their electronics and them not taking care of stuff that needs to be charged.
Oh my God! Do they ever? And why isn't it charged? They ask me. It's my responsibility. Why isn't it charged? Yeah. It's a 2%. I'm like,
I never plug them in. Never. I don't. I refuse. No, I refuse. I won't do it. I leave it uncharged and make them do it. I refuse to charge it. It's not my responsibility. Well, you don't want to hear it. Me, it's different. It's time for them to do it themselves. I can't. Even
again, there's some things that you can't control, like when your Wi-Fi goes out, right? That's like the biggest nut kick. Sometimes to go, there's no Wi-Fi. Like I'm supposed.
What is he doing? He has headphones on. Are you watching him? He's like doing like the rain dance back there. He's got headphones on so he doesn't hear the world, and he's just like doing the rain dance.
These guys are enough. We just got enough.
Yeah. So
there's Shell.
Nice show.
Her hair is so even.
It is. So, boys, it was great. It's been real. Thank you for doing this with me and letting me do this with you.
Yeah, so awesome. And so fast, an hour goes by, you don't even know it.
I know.
Thomas, don't drop the plate. Thomas, it's the real plate.
Don't drop it.
Break the fake ones.
I feel like we need to stop and get it.
So, all right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Mike. Of course, guys. Catch them tomorrow evening on their shows. Again, there's the link to click on to the YouTube channel. You can go to her website as well. Check out the ticker, guys. Check them out tomorrow evening. Thank you so much, guys. As always, thank you, both of you. And of course, I will be back Monday evening, so you guys won't see me tomorrow. So I get a 3-day weekend. So peace, everybody. Peace. Take it easy. Good night, everybody. Say it. What do we say? Good night.
Good night, Raquel.
Good night, Raquel. That's right. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much, everybody who's been a part of this one. You have stay safe, stay blessed. Talk to you again soon. Bye, everybody.